It's a nice sunny day and I'm outside. Boy, I tell you, not everybody is created equal. And I know I was made for the tropics. I like the getaway, I like the little vacay. But remember, oh my, I forgot my scarf. Yes, remember when the winds and the rain dominate the flow of the day. It's not easy. But yeah, today I want us to talk about brand deals, sponsorships, and influencer contracts. And this came from a training that I did over the last week with several hotel chains. And this particular hotel chain, the presenter, much to my surprise, stated that they are ramping up or enhancing the opportunities that they are providing for authorized travel advisors to see their properties, experience their properties, get a full sense of what their properties are like so that they can adequately offer it to prospective clients. And that got me thinking. And as I delved a little further, I came across a video with an attorney from California, and she dubs herself the content lawyer. You might have seen or heard of her. Didn't know about her before, but I thought about it and I said, what a brilliant thought. Because those of us making content online really do need to know the ins and outs, the legal ramifications, and everything that goes with presenting yourself, presenting information as fact, and also covering yourself from any litigious activity. So, no, I'm not a lawyer. Wouldn't even want to suggest that I could give counsel. But what I do know was just as we were coming out of the pandemic, there was a huge movement towards cruise lines and resorts, attractions, everywhere that needed to pull in new business. They were focused on getting influencers in. And a lot of the influencers were those who were amassing grand amount of following on social media. And the thought process was the influencers would ultimately bring a huge flow of new business into these properties and cruises, etc. However, some things have gone wrong. I'm not saying all things have gone wrong, but some things have gone wrong. And that probably, some of those things might have been the reason for this change in policy. And I just want to observe and comment on one. Well, I'm thinking of one particular content creator. Now, she has close to 500,000 subscribers. However, and I think of her because she was suggested to me when a brand reached out and asked me if I could find somebody, an influencer, who would be willing to sail to Croatia and, bring that sort of following. And as I assessed her, because you see, I am not somebody who just moves on a whim. I assessed her. I've never considered myself an influencer. I've been told I'm an influencer. And technically, I guess I do influence you to buy trips. But I wasn't going to be the one who was going to be jumping off the side of the boat and doing all the fun things that would typically, I think, showcase, all the wonderful things that the particular ship and experience would be. Me, I'll tell you about it. I mean, I am very good at describing and painting pictures, but I'm not so good at doing all of these fancy things. So yeah. So of course, having followed through, watched her video, made some contacts, and scrutinized her comment section, I discovered that as an influencer, she would not fit the spend profile that this particular luxury cruise was going to need. And what do I mean by this? A lot of times you get invited on a brand deal, and truth be told, you have many followers and they make many comments and they help you to get to your various targets. You are on all the different platforms, and so the thought might be, oh yes, this would be a good candidate to, do an event with us, sail with us, travel with us. And when their followers watch or consume the content, they would be likely to make a purchase. But my observation has led me to believe that the spendability of a lot of these influencers' followers would not be in keeping with the target market that would be needed for the success of this venture. Now, bear in mind that brand deal, that influencer contract, that sponsorship would need to be paid upfront in full or by whatever arrangement. It's a dollar figure, it's an agreement that must be adhered to, win or lose, and that is by the supplier. So I put myself in a particular scenario just to show an example. There was a well-known content creator in Jamaica, and we reached out to him. We wanted to do a day on the ship, and we wanted to invite him and so on. And I remember I reached out and they quoted me a price. It was high, but I started to think, oh, but the returns, the fact that his client base would, or his influencer population would be of such that we'd get the returns on the investment. I was talked out of it, and I agreed that the timing might not be right and all of the other reasons that were put forward. A few months later, I decided, let me reach out again, because here we were again. We had hit a standstill in bookings, and I really needed something to propel the purchasing of what we were offering forward. So I reached out to the very same individual, and his price had doubled. I'm like, what has changed? What has changed? And so, my good advisor said to me, look, go again and review his content, review the comments, review the places that he frequents on these brand deals, etc. And tell me, are those the clients that you typically pull in for business? And I had to agree, they were not. And so, with my own position on the line, I decided that was not the way to go. And I'm glad I didn't, because you see, what this hotelier said is now being played out in many spheres. The influencers are not bringing the bacon, for want of a better word. Yes, they get great content, they get great reviews. They would have walked away with a sizable paycheck from this type of a partnership. But you, the supplier, you, the agency, you, the spender, has nothing to show for it, or precious little. And so brand deals have become very different now, I'm being told, in the hospitality tourism industry. And if I might just say, there have been several instances, and they're getting more and more, as influencers have been thrown off cruise ships. They have been banned. Thrown off is a strong word, especially for cruise ships. They have been escorted off onto dry land. So don't get me wrong, nobody's throwing them overboard. Their ascent to notoriety, popularity, fame, for want of a better term, seem to have hit their brains. or maybe their brains were just not capable of accepting or appreciating or noticing the awesome responsibility that comes with this position. And so they don't know how to behave, honestly. They have been boisterous, they have been loud, they have been rude, they have been disrespectful even to the powers that be that have invited them. And so more and more there is a scale back. And so, to the point that I said initially, there is now a movement again, because they used to put plans in place, and many suppliers still do, because you see, the travel agent is the forward facing individual to the clients. Our motives are not subtle, they're very direct. We come to you, or you come to us, because we want a transaction to be fulfilled. This is not a roundabout way to showcase a product with the suggestion that just maybe you might want to someday embark on a trip. No, we are focused. We are very to the point. You want to spend money, we know the best way for you to spend. We are the ones trained, we are the ones licensed, we are the ones who will support you on this journey. So use our services. You don't pay for them, because we are paid by those who have invested in our training, in our growth, in our development, so that we can pull the best clients, because that's important too. We can pull the best clients to them. So by matching the clients with the product, with the hotel, with the resort, with the cruise, there's not a mismatch, so there will not be artificial or false expectations that will get deflated. Everybody is a good fit. We look at it as a marriage contract of sorts. You have what I want exactly what you have, match made in heaven. So that might have sounded like a mouthful, and in essence it is, because this is what I do, this is what I do, this is who I am. I influence in my own way, and my own way is for a specific market, target, and intention. So the intention is to say there will be, and you will see it coming forward, a reduction in the use of influencers to drive business. And I don't want this video to seem so heavy and laced with not the proper positiveness that I try to exude. But if I might just insert this one little thought, don't really want to bring propaganda, but a lot of properties, and I can speak of Jamaica because the data that came to me that I'm about to speak of came from hotels in Jamaica, where the client base that have purchased a lot of these services, who were new or relatively new into the space, was less than desired, for want of a better word. Let us put it frankly. And I really hate repeating this, but let me just put an imagery out there. When a client is checking out of a hotel and they're leaving with a flat screen TV, that cannot be the desired clientele. Let's just put it that way. When you, as the housekeeping supervisor, gets called into a checkout room and the pillows are missing, the comforters are missing, the lamp shade is missing, because the guests who checked out decided that the clients who are coming next really don't need these amenities, don't need these to be a part of their stay, and these clients need it more at their house than the upcoming clients, or even the resort who purchased it for the said property and for the said intention of giving comfort to those people who will come and stay. Then we have a serious matter. And there's so much more to say, but suffice it to say, it has backfired. Don't want it to be like a bellowing gloomsday individual, but some things have to be said. And so there's a new thrust. And also, even for us as agents, you will need to provide your proper certification, collateral, association, membership, everything to show that you're current, and even your production because nobody wants you just to come for the free food and the free bed and the free lifestyle to gram. They want to see somebody who's going to bring this production, and this production is going to impact positively the bottom line of those persons making this financial investment. So, enfin, brand deals are changing, at least in my space, which is hospitality and tourism. And should it be a word to the wise? I don't know. Because if you have been fortunate to secure one of these arrangements, it's a good idea to understand what the client's expectations are and to honor them, and even to decline if you figure your client base, your follower base, is not one that has the purchase ability or the interest to participate, to bring value back to this particular offer that you have benefited from. Yeah, those are just my thoughts, my few words. And Sherry has lots to say, and so we will say more in our upcoming video. Ciao for now.